What's up, everybody? I don't ever do combo tutorial videos, but I got an outpour of basically I need to do one like now. And this one I wouldn't mind doing because the character just came out, so it's not like there's a bunch of YouTube videos on it. That's the main reason why I don't do combo tutorials, because there's usually so many already on YouTube. Um, but Omni Man just came out yesterday. I've been practicing with him since he came out. He's not a complex character. He's just a character of timing. You have to get the timing down right. I got about 8 combos, really 6 combos. There's just some alternatives to the ending that I want to go over, and hopefully it'll make you a better Omni Man player. Let's get into it. All right, to start I guess you can say the tutorial or guide. To start it off, I have a list here of my combo starters. This is what, I mean, for me personally, these are my combo starters. And if you're on PlayStation, then of course, you're gonna have to decipher in your head um, the button inputs. But these are my personal combo starters. I've been practicing with him since he came out, and I gotta say, like, these are to me the best for combo starting. So I'm just gonna start from the top and work my way down to the bottom. So the first one, that, then you have this, okay, then you have this, and that's technically not a pop-up, but when you add the Viltrumite stance, okay, it becomes a combo. You can turn that little stomp into a combo, and I like it because it's a low. So if people are blocking high, you can hit them low with that. Go into the Viltrumite stance and do some damage. Next one is this one, the Demon Slaying Punch. Technically, it's not a pop-up either, but I like it because it's an overhead. And I've noticed in Mortal Kombat, and I'm guilty of it too, in Mortal Kombat 1 at least, everybody blocks low. I mean, that's their go-to. They don't even go straight to blocking high. As soon as they get up, they're already blocking low. And I like it because that Demon Slaying Punch is an overhead, and you can get through that low block. So there's that. And then of course you have the Viltrumite stance. You can do a couple of things with this. Like the next one, as a matter of fact, which is up and away. That's another pop-up. You can also have that, which I didn't even put. Sorry, I didn't even put. That's this right here. So if you go into the Viltrumite stance, press X. Yeah, that's another combo starter. Then you also have the Invisible Rush, which is this. I like that because it looks like you're getting out of the way, and then you come in with, a pop-up. So these are my personal go-to combo starters. It's different for everybody. This is just what I like to use. All right, so next thing, this is basically my most important, well, to me, my most important inputs. This is basically what I use the most in a fight. You have this, and then Discipline is an air attack. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so you have to be careful with Discipline. All right, because Discipline has another string to it, or another button input to it if you want, which is this right here, Duty. But if you press X, it will hit them straight to the ground. Yeah, it can be a combo ender, but if you're trying to start a combo and you press X, it's gonna end it immediately. You gotta be careful with that. All right, and then you have the dash, which I've gotten a lot of questions on the dash. The air dash, which is called Fly Toward. For me, it's forward LT. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, that's what it is. Throw it in a combo. All right. So the next thing is the spinning smack, which is also an air attack, and I'll show that. Okay. And then Conqueror Killer. That is kind of that's my go-to mid combo input, you know, something to keep it going. So if I do with Conqueror Killer, okay. And for the people on my TikTok right now, that is the two moves I did for one of the TikToks I put in, and people were like, man, how the hell do you do that? So again, into Conqueror Killer. With that, the timing has to be perfect. If you wait too long, you'll drop it. See? So you gotta be quick. Now the next thing is just some simple combos with these inputs. So we're gonna use the first one first, the backhand first. So I'm gonna cut the video out. I'm gonna take some inputs off and add some on, and then we'll start with combos just from that string alone. All right, our first combo. So if you look, okay, like I said, I took some inputs off, put some on, left some. So this is going to be our first combo. This is what it looks like. So that's what it looks like all put together, but I'm going to break it down for you guys. Going straight into it, I have it all in order, so it's not like I gotta, or for the person who's watching, you gotta figure out which input I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going straight into backhand, then then Viltrumite stance. All right, so from backhand to the string, you have to time it correctly. Okay, because if you go into too late, you may not be able to do the grab when you're in the Viltrumite stance. So it'll look a little something like this. So yeah, you have to, timing is everything. You got to be quick with this one. Okay, so from backhand to to the Viltrumite stance, and then using pressing 1 or X or think square on PlayStation from the Viltrumite stance. Okay, and I'm gonna add this in slow motion as well. Well, I'm gonna add the entire move in slow motion so you can, you know, whether you want to screen record or just memorize it, you'll have it. Okay, so again, from the Viltrumite stance, okay, you're gonna grab them, and then you're gonna go into discipline, which looks something like this. Okay, and then from discipline, you're gonna do that famous little air dash, is what I like to call it, and then going into boot stain, and it looks like this. Okay, that's the combo. That's literally the combo. I will say, when you go into discipline, doing the dash and then going into boot stain, you have to give the combo time, or you have to give the inputs time to register. Okay, because if you do discipline and then try and go into dash super fast, it may not register correctly. So okay, Okay, when he does that last hit, then I'll go into the dash and go into boot sting. All right, so like this. Right, you got to give it time when you're in the air. All right, for combo number 2 off of the backhand string, keep in mind I'm kind of just gonna go up in difficulty from each combo, starting from easiest to hardest and so on and so forth. So for this, all right, this is what it looks like. All right, so first thing is, if you notice, this combo only does 5% more damage than the previous combo, the first combo that I showed you guys. But hey, it's in my uh book of combos for Omni Man, so I'm gonna show it, and hopefully you can take this and go way above and beyond than I can. um Plus, in this video I'm gonna show you some combos that it's 400 no problem, but baby steps. Okay, baby steps. So with this combo, we already know backhand into uh-oh. And I forgot to mention, because this is actually pretty important, when you go into uh-oh, you have to make sure you hit it correctly. He has to be popped up in the air high enough for you to be able to get into Hellblades. And then for combos that I'm going to show you later on in this video, you have to make sure he's popped up high enough, because timing is very important with some of these combos. And if he's not popped up high enough, you're going to drop it no matter what. All right, so backhand into uh-oh. So from uh-oh into Hellblades, right? As soon as my thumb releases off of the X, so I'm gonna continuously hold forward on the D-pad. From uh-oh to Hellblades, I'm not even gonna let go of the forward on the D-pad. All right, as soon as my thumb releases from the X, I'm fucking slamming RB, because he has to be fast enough for you to be able to grab him, or actually no, for you to be able to use your stomp, go into the stance and grab him in the air. Okay, so from Hellblade, you're gonna go into the stomp, which you have to be pretty quick with that. You have to be pretty quick with that, because you can easily miss it. See? It has to be fast. It has to be super fast. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about for this combo is stomp. The stomp has to be timed perfectly. He has to be popped up high enough in the air for one. And then the stomp has to be timed perfectly, because you can easily miss it. I do all the time. See? So I was able to do the stomp, but I missed the stance. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Okay, so that one I got it perfectly. But if you notice, which I'm gonna play it back, if you notice, he was high enough in the air for me to grab him. Okay, now that I got that out the way, I'm gonna actually do the combo, but I'm gonna do it with extra stuff like I was telling you about earlier, which will up the damage. Now, you will spend a bar or two depending on how far you want to take it, but hey, it's up to you if it's worth it. So you can bring it all the way up to 365 if you want to spend a bar. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's worth it. Sometimes I'm like, nah, I'm good. Just really all depends on the fight. Now, before you start jumping in the comments asking me about the multiple dashes, okay, it's literally just that forward dash I was telling you. Okay, I'm just doing it multiple times. As soon as my hold on, I don't know why I even got rid of them. Okay, that okay. As soon as my discipline input ends, I'm doing dash. All right, and I just do that multiple times. I think you can do it up to 3 times before the gravity is gonna take its course and automatically bring him down. So that's why I'll do it 2 times and then I'll go into boot thane. Okay, so something like this. Oops. So something like that. You can do it this. Okay. All it is just me dashing back and forth, dashing back and forth. So one thing to note though, every single time I dash, okay, I'm pressing forward. I'm pressing forward of the direction that my opponent is. Okay, so if you know my enemy is on the right side, then I'm pressing right on the D-pad. If my enemy is on the left side, I'm pressing left on the D-pad, because if you press away from him, you're gonna dash away from him like this. And we don't want to do. All right, for our last backhand string combo, which is also the hardest, this can actually be pretty difficult. It's a good amount of damage when you start playing around with it, but the timing has to be perfect and he has to be high enough, and you can drop it very, very easily. I do it all the time. um the only time I really use this combo is if I know like it's not gonna cost me if I drop it. Okay, so this is what the combo looks like. Okay, I definitely had to skip ahead because I kept dropping it. This combo can be pretty difficult, but anyways, that's what it looks like. The hard part about this combo is hitting the Viltrumite stance into the grab after you do Conqueror Killer. So for Conqueror Killer, you can actually alternatively do Demon Slaying Punch. I found it easier to do Conqueror Killer. Personal preference, if you think Demon Slaying Punch is easier, by all means. So I already know I'm going to drop it, but I want to drop it on purpose because I want to show you what I mean by he has to be high enough in the air for you to be able to land your grab from Viltrumite stance. See, everything looks like it's going according to plan, but because he's not high enough, you end up dropping the combo. So when you go to brought to heal, which is that right there, okay, you have to do forward 3 or forward B or forward circle. Okay, you have to do that instantaneously, but the timing has to be perfect, because if you do it too fast, sometimes you'll drop it, sometimes you'll miss the knee, which is kind of a hit or miss. So I'm gonna play it in slow motion, me intentionally not making him high enough, and me trying trying my hardest to make him high enough. And I'm gonna play those both in slow motion so you can see what I mean. And that was him being high enough. So yeah, that's the hardest part about this entire combo. Um, if you're able to get that down, you can do some pretty crazy stuff with this. I will show you a combo right now. So that is one of my favorite combos. It does a good amount of damage. It does take some bars. And it's a pretty difficult combo to land, but once you start practicing, you'll get it down. But yeah, that's the end of the backhand string. Now I do have a bonus for you guys with this. I'm not gonna do the bonus with this combo particularly because I don't feel like dropping it all the time, but here it is. So I love the way that looks. Um, is it worth, using a piece of my Cameo? I personally think so. I love it. Um, I'm gonna show you how to do it. Okay, so the hardest part about this is landing your Cameo into your honorable death from Viltrumite stance. That is the hardest part because you have to call your Cameo as you're pressing Y from spinning smack in the air. Okay. It's weird. Um, I'm gonna try and drop it so you can see what I mean. All right, here we go. There we go. Yeah. So if you press your Cameo too late, he won't be able to hit your opponent. So you have to press your Cameo at the same time you're pressing Y off of spinning smack. Not X, but Y. So the next part about this that could be difficult for some is timing the honorable death after your Cameo hits your opponent. So if your Cameo hits your opponent, that's great. But it's a little weird, okay? Because you have to press your Cameo. You have to use your Cameo as soon as you press Y off of spinning smack. But when your Cameo hits him, you have to be in your Viltrumite stance and time it correctly to do honorable death. I'm gonna try and drop it and show you what I mean by that. So that is what happens when you don't time it correctly. If you go too fast off of your Viltrumite stance to honorable death, you're gonna drop it. So once you get into your Viltrumite stance, wait a quick second and then do honorable death because he has to be, I believe, low enough for you to be able to hit him off of your honorable death input. All right, so that was everything I have on the backhand string. Oh, backhand string of combos, I should say. We're gonna go into the next one, which is uh-oh. Personally, I don't know why, but I just love the way this pop-up is. This is also a grab if you didn't know. See here, where is it? Okay, here. So this is actually a full combo with itself. I haven't really found ways to make spilled contents a combo ender. That would be pretty awesome. I'm not Einstein. If you guys know of a way, please comment down below and let me know, because I would love to try it out. But yeah, so uh-oh is our next one. Let me get rid of the grab version. So uh-oh is our next one, and this is actually pretty simple. You'll notice with Omni Man, most of the strings are the same. The only thing that's different really is the pop-ups in the combo starter. Everything else is really the same. Okay, so I'm not gonna go too crazy with the uh-oh string, or too in depth, because this is really the only combo that I do with that string. I know you can do more, I'm pretty sure, you know, with cameos and stuff like that, but this is mostly what I do, because from uh-oh to Conqueror Killer, grabbing him, throwing him in the air, I can do a bunch of other stuff. But I tagged these two inputs because I wanted to talk about it, because if you wait too long to do Conqueror Killer, you'll drop it, and it looks something like this. Okay, you have to be kind of quick with this. See? And another thing to note with Conqueror Killer, okay, it's kind of weird. It's one of those things where, like, if you try to do it too soon, it won't register. Like, your character needs a tad bit more time before he can do another move. See, I was tapping X the entire time, but the character did what he wanted. You kind of have to play around with it, but it's really easy, actually. As soon as you find that perfect, that perfect timing, you won't drop it anymore. So the only other thing I wanted to add about the uh-oh string is corner combos. I've noticed you can kind of do some stuff with corner combos and cameos with this string, and I'm sure you can do it with all the other strings as well. But I was playing around with this and I found this, and I thought I'd share it, So that's a combo right there. It's a corner combo that you can do. Again, this string, and now that you guys have, a good grasp of the moves and how to do them and stuff like that, I'm sure you can come up with some stuff. But this string is kind of my, like, let's get out of the corner. I definitely use this string a lot. Like, it's my go-to. I may be blocking or something like that, do a low, then go into this. The only thing about this is it's slow. Okay, that is one of the slower pop-ups. This is the fastest, the back 1-1. That is the fastest from what I've seen. If I'm trying to pressure somebody, I'll back 1-1, they block it, I'll hit low, so he's gonna block again. So I've noticed that right there, it kind of confuses the crap out of people sometimes. And when I'm in the middle of doing this, they'll be trying to hit, but mine will hit first. So I've noticed that pop up is the fastest. Now the only other thing is the only other thing I want to talk about, because you guys have a grasp. Okay, you guys should be good. All right, if you're not good, hit me up in the comments, and hey, we'll see. All right, but the only other thing I want to go over is the stomp and the overhead. Okay, so opponent type, let's do duck, let's do all. All right, so if you notice, he's blocking everything right now. But with Demon Slaying Punch, oops, audio. Okay, there we go. Okay, with Demon Slaying Punch, I can hit him over the head. Now, obviously, if they block it, they may punish the crap out of you. But if they're not expecting it, especially with this being a new character, they may not be expecting it. They may not be expecting that it becomes an overhead. So with that overhead, you know, I can go into my regular combo strings, right? So that's just a little tip there. That's why I like that string. That's why I consider it a combo starter for me. And the only other thing is the stomp, which stand, block mode, stance. That's what I meant to do the first time. All right, so if you notice, he's blocking everything high and mid, but with that stomp can get through that. That's why I love that stomp. It hits low, and you can go from the stomp to your Viltrumite stance. So it's not a crap ton of damage, but it's worthy, in my opinion, because if they're blocking high, I can hit them with that stomp and go into some stuff. And I think even too, yeah, I can use a Kameo, do some other things, but that's basically it. So that is everything with Omni Man. I hope you guys loved it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I hated every bit of it. This is my first time doing a combo tutorial. I don't do combo tutorials. I hate explaining stuff. I suck at explaining stuff, but I had to do it. I had too many people asking me about it, and I really wanted to help, help all of my followers out. So hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.